Arashi, Prince of the Sky. Chapter 18. The Root. Franck used his power to levitate Cody from the ground. They pushed his body through a big iron door behind a dumpster in the alley. Shimari held it open as Anabe led the way down the small set of steps that were just beyond the entrance. Once inside, Shimari closed the door behind them, and the dark room lit up in yellow lights coming from every direction.
Don't worry, it's just a scan,
Nanabe assured Arashi as the light flickered and buzzed. Ishara nestled on his shoulder. The lights turned from yellow to blue as a low vibration began to hum from beneath their feet. The floor shook as the walls started sliding up. It was an elevator. They remained in blue light as they descended down into the ground. Shimari whistled nonchalantly as the elevator came to a stop. A metal door appeared in front of them as Nanabe walked up to it. She placed her hand to the door as a thin light appeared under her palm. There was a loud beep as the door unlocked heavy bolts of iron. The doors separated, allowing the light to flood into the small space. Arashi was not prepared for what he saw. It was like an underground city. High up in the center of the space was a giant crystal, the biggest he'd seen in a very long time. There was a pure light energy emanating from it as they stepped off the elevator.
Welcome to Mudlahara.
Whoa, this is incredible.
Yeah, this is where all the magic happens, literally. Come on, we gotta get him to the infirmary.
The facility was top-notch. Nanabe's heels clicked across the floor, which was paved with silver metal. Each little building had its own function, but it was all connected like a web. They walked for about 5 minutes before they entered through a pair of sliding doors. They were met by a couple of nurses that had a gurney ready to take Cody. Nanabe explained to them that he needed an energy cleanse and an IV. Without question, they wheeled him off down the hall into a private room. Arashi tugged on Nanabe's arm. "I'm not leaving him."
Yeah, I figured you would, but...
She began to say, but her phone buzzed, and she answered it immediately.
Yes? Yes, I'm here. Right now? Okay, I'm coming. Okay, you can go with him. They will get you whatever you need, hon, okay? Come on, guys, we'll be back.
Arashi shook his head yes as he followed Cody into the room. Nanabe led them out of the infirmary and towards the tallest building in the center of the camp.
Can we trust them to be alone?
Yes, Ari can take care of himself.
I think the general would have appreciated notice about visitors.
Franck, don't start. Our past ran into his for a reason. That reason will reveal itself soon. And right now, seeing as how he's unconscious, he isn't a threat.
Yeah, well, the general said...
Oh, the general said. Bro, my sister said it's fine, so shut the hell up.
Wasn't talking to you, shit for brains.
Well, I'm talking to you, snowflake. What now?
Come at me!
Oh my god, you guys are really doing this right now?
They entered through the sliding doors. She caught a glimpse of Martin from the side of her eye. She thought he had the slightest hint of a smirk on his face, but her eyes were playing tricks on her. They walked up the steps 4 levels and made it to the top floor where the general's office was. Before knocking, Nanabe turned to Shimari with a dead, serious look on her face.
Shy, I need you to promise me that you're not gonna be, do, or say anything stupid in there. I know you know what I mean. Just please, okay? Promise me.
She said, holding up her pinky. She didn't pull out the pinky promise often, but when she did, Shimari knew that she really needed him to cooperate. Reluctantly, he curled his pinky with hers and made a fart sound with his mouth. Yeah, I promise.
Thank you.
Releasing his hand, she knocked on the door 3 times. Then they opened inward as they stepped inside the space. There were trophies and medals lining the walls as the American flag hung over a giant wooden desk that was beautifully carved into the likeness of a bear. Soft lights lit the space so it appeared like it was a sunset.
Hello, General Cox.
The doors closed slowly behind them. There was a very large chair behind the desk facing the window that was overlooking the underground city. It creaked as a very large person appeared from behind it.
Welcome back. Shamari, Martin, Franck, you are dismissed.
Cox loomed over the desk that seemed tiny compared to them. Cox didn't have a sexual orientation, and it was hard to tell anyways. They had an intimidating stature. Rocking a short crew cut, their skin was like a road map that was found on the road. Without hesitation, Martin and Franck spun around and walked out the door. Shimari just looked at Cox. He didn't hide the suspicion from painting his face. His overprotective nature was coming out. He knew Cox had an unhealthy obsession with his sister, and he wasn't about to leave her alone.
Shamari!
You promised.
Nanabe said under her breath. He sucked his teeth and turned to face the door.
All right, fine. If we didn't have to all be here, I could have skipped the frickin' steps. I'll be right outside that door,
he said before walking towards the exit. Nanabe let out a sigh of relief as the doors closed.
That brother of yours has one more time.
He'll be better, I promise. So, what did you need to see me about?
She asked in an attempt to get straight to business. Cox stood perfectly still in the low light, looking over her. She shuffled uncomfortably, but made sure her face remained blank.
Where is the spirit of the storm?
Arashi is in the infirmary. We had a little bit of a situation on the way in.
It wasn't wise of you to bring the other boy here. He could very much be a mole for fear. Did you take that into consideration? No, you did not. You have put everyone in this facility at risk.
Yes, I understand, but...
I'm not finished. Where are the stones?
Nanabe hated being treated like a grunt. What she wouldn't give to not have to deal with Cox at all. But she was too good at her job, and she needed their resources to continue her goal. She didn't skip a beat.
Apparently they are located in Africa. Morocco, to be exact. My source is very reliable. How soon can we...
And how will we find these stones once in Morocco?
Arashi will find the stones. I don't know the details, but he has to find them on his own. The boy...
Shay Cody Shay?
Yes, Cody. There's a missing puzzle piece there. I'll have to take them to the spirit realm to reveal his true nature. How soon can we depart?
As soon as you clear the boy of being a threat to this mission. The sooner, the better.
Cox said. Their eyes twitched left to right while they simultaneously cracked their neck violently, making a loud snapping sound. Cox did it pretty often on account of their Tourette's. To Nanabe, it made Cox appear even creepier than they were.
As soon as he wakes up, we can get started. Until then...
She waited for Cox to cut in. When they didn't, she continued.
Until then, we'll plan our move.
She kept her eyes straight and her back poised. She wasn't going to give them any idea that she wasn't fully prepared for any and all outcomes.
This is why you are my second in command. What of the boy's parents?
They asked, picking up a small glass elephant that sat on their desk.
Arashi. Oh, they won't be an issue,
Bishop had his people do a search on you. Did you know that?
No, I wasn't aware. I thought I was being
You
careful.
thought. Luckily, our people blocked his attempts. I told you to keep your distance for that very reason.
Cox said, placing the elephant back down and cracking their neck again.
Well, it was unavoidable. I had to go home and see Arashi. He's been tagged by fear. The curse on his arm grows stronger each day by eating him alive. My main priority is making sure he finds the stones and gains the power to defeat fear. Keep them off my back so I can do my job.
Very well. Do your job, and I'll do mine. That's all. Oh, and Nanabe, don't let your play family cloud your judgment. This is all for the greater good and the protection of the American people.
I understand,
She said, walking out the door. Once the doors closed, she let out a deep sigh. She wasn't going to be able to sleep tonight. Here. Shamari hands his sister a metal thermos. She smiles and takes it from him. She opened the lid and took a deep breath. The warm aroma of herbs and spices helped alleviate some of the tension from the headache she felt creeping in.
Thanks, Shy. You can be very thoughtful when you want to be.
Yeah. Don't mention it. So, what'd that creature say to you?
Shamari!
What? I don't like that fool. Only reason I put up with this is because of you.
Yeah, I know. And I appreciate you for being here. Trust me, it's gonna work out fine. When Cody wakes up, we are taking them in.
In? Like in? She nods her head. They walked out the doors and were making their way back to the office on the other side of the city. Frank and Martin had departed elsewhere.
Woo! Yeah, dope. Count me in.
Okay, well, try to get some sleep. I have work to do.
Hey. Don't be up all night. You need a couple hours to recoup. It's not good for your health.
Okay, Dad, thanks. Love you, Shamari.
Yeah, I love you too, but for real, them raccoon bags under your eyes, getting crazy. Sleep.
Okay, good night.
she said, escaping behind the doors. Finally alone. She took a sip of her tea, letting it warm her spirit again. She was not gonna sleep tonight. End of chapter 18.